your weekly power-up of video game news, updates, and industry buzz. From blockbuster releases and indie gems to hardware drops, studio shakeups, and everything in between, we break it all down. This is Split Screen Gamers.
Yo, so Rocket League is getting a whole new makeover due to Unreal Engine 6. Super sick. Former Splinter Cell director said that making stealth games is a tough challenge with modern graphics. Nvidia said that any yearly subscribers to Geoforce now, or whoever wants to buy a GPU, which is kind of crazy because they're so expensive right now, that 007 First Light will be paired with it. Chandler, what's up, my boy? You ready to talk about this news? Look, until next week, PlayStation Plus PlayStation's doing their live showcase with PS State of Play, and so we got like a week before it starts to get crazy, bro. So, this is what we got to talk about right now.
GPU stuff, GPU and game graphics, man.
I know.
Yeah, dude.
I don't remember the last time I even talked about graphics.
Dude, it's been a minute. I remember I was glowing about the Decima engine from PlayStation, the one that they use for Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn. The really, really nice, crisp, very functional engine that the Decima engine was.
Ghost of Yotei and Tsushima, right? Use Decima or not?
I don't know if they did.
I don't know.
I'm not 100%.
Oh, okay,
that's good to look up. That's good to look up though. But I actually don't know if they used it. But I'm just like, man, that's such a great engine. But what else is a great engine? And some people will like debate this to this day, but it's like, the resources that you can find online and like the help you need to be better at it is incredible. It's the Unreal Engine, and we're in the Unreal Engine 5 era right now, but dude, I sent you this video yesterday, bro, but they pretty much announced at a Rocket League tournament that we're getting a Unreal Engine 6.
Yo, so which is crazy because what a weird place to announce that. So if you didn't know, Paris Major is a Rocket League Championship location for this year's Rocket League Championship, and so they did an announcement, which is cool. I haven't played Rocket League in a few years, but I remember when I played it, I was super addicted to it. It was super fun, but then I realized I was never going to be as good as the guys who play it religiously. And look, the makeover looks good. I think.
Yep.
Look, I think that the people who play Rocket League, like, there's not much more you can do to Rocket League to make that game more fun. It's just so fun. They just keep rolling out for the last, how long has it been around? Probably 7-8 years at this point, I think. It's like...
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's since then, it's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
The game is already amazing. It's owned by Epic Games. They're rolling out the right stuff for it. That's all you need. You need seasons. You need new packs. You need collaborations. I remember when I was playing it, they had collaborated with, I think it was Twisted Metal, because that game was getting remade, and they collaborated with that. And I remember I had one of the little flags on the card to showcase that. But yeah, dude, I think that Epic Games, they got the formula. They got the formula.
Yeah,
it's all they
really do
with Fortnite. They're doing it with Rocket League.
Yeah, dude, they're doing that with Fortnite, Rocket League, and Magic the Gathering because they publish Arena. Magic Arena, which is like the digital version of the card game and stuff. So they're in like this like really interesting competitive sphere of like gaming and stuff. But like, dude, if we're talking about like a developer, like they have their own like game store and everything too. So they're like Steam's like big competitor in terms of like a digital like game store and stuff. But
smart. Smart. Like, I can't believe they're on the East Coast too. They're based in North Carolina, bro. Like that's where Fortnite was born at. And Fortnite single-handedly brought them to the forefront of companies.
Yep.
Obviously, like in Epic Games is pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of that, of their like kind of their style. Like that's not really my thing. But Rocket League is one of those games that like I can always go back to. Rocket League is worth every dollar. Like I'll buy it on every console, especially portable ones. It's the best for me. It's like the best like go back to it. It's like Super Smash, Mario Kart. You can always go back to it and have a great time. The learning curve is not too crazy. The matchmaking is usually pretty decent. It's usually pretty skill based, I think, in a lot of ways, especially if you choose unranked. So I think Rocket League is just one of those games that's going to be around for a long time. So I'm glad that they are not just like oh, we're going to keep it. No, they're like, hey, let's revamp it. They could have easily just been like, hey, let's keep it into this old era of gaming. They're like, nah, let's bring up the qualities. Do we ever need another Rocket League release? No. You know what I mean?
No. No, I don't think they would ever be like Rocket League 2, kind of like how Blizzard was with like Overwatch 2. You know, they took off the 2 from Overwatch 2. It's just called Overwatch now.
I did not know that.
So, yeah, they took out the 2 because they were like, you know, this was not a good idea to just make a new Overwatch game and just add the 2 at the end. It's literally the same exact game. We just added like a few other features and new characters and stuff. But yeah, no, Rocket League, I mean, Epic Games would never really do that, I feel like, because, you know, they could go on for years without making a sequel to like one of these mega hits 100%. And stuff.
100%. Well, let's open this trailer. It's only 1 minute and 19 seconds. Let's watch it. I'm going to share my screen with you, and then let me just make sure it's pulled up here. So what do we got? We got this is released by IGN, by the way. That's what we first watched it. So shout out to them. Even though I don't like their reviews, they do put out some good news.
Yeah, they gave this video like a 3 out of 10. No, I'm joking. I
wouldn't put it past them, to be honest.
Yeah, this would their main criticism was this was a trailer. I expected a film. This is unacceptable.
It's funny you say that, but like I said, bro, I still don't put it past them, bro. I could imagine that. Didn't they put out recently? They put out a pretty crap review. What was that? I can't remember what it was.
I remember it was for like Hokum, and then the other one that was really crap was like Mouse Detective PI. That one was really
That's
crap.
What you were telling me about.
Yeah, and then Mixtape got like a 10, but it was barely a game. So like their reviews are terrible, dude. Their reviews terrible. So yeah.
Let me make sure I got the audio here connected. I didn't do this beforehand, so
you're good,
dude. We in the meantime, bro, we downloaded Still Wakes the Deep. I know we're behind, but
yeah. Like I was just like, we must have like done it at the same exact time, because literally, dude, like I was just like surfing through the PlayStation Plus store, because I was like, what does my subscription give me for all these games? And I still saw, you know, It Still Wakes the Deep like on the PlayStation Plus, and that's been on the store forever, and that's where Chris actually got it from too. And so I was like, you know what, let me download it. And I haven't even played it yet. I haven't even like tried it out or anything. It's just downloaded to my console. But I sent a screenshot. I sent that same screenshot to Chris, and it was like, nice, dude, let me know how you think about it. I was like, yeah, dude. And then you texted me this morning. Was like, I downloaded Still Wakes the Deep. I was like, what?
Great minds think alike, bro.
Yeah,
we think alike, bro. That's what it is.
Seriously. And what's crazy was I was tempted to play it on Geoforce Now, because it is available on there, but you have to buy it from Steam. But I get it for free. Well, free, but I get it, you know, for free on PlayStation Plus. So I was like, let me get it for PlayStation.
Facts.
So
okay, so let me pull it up here. I got it locked in.
To all of our friends here in Paris,
quality's terrible, horrible.
Watching all around the world, this is the future.
That setup looks insane.
Yeah, it's a huge stadium too. I still find it crazy that they announced this at a tournament.
I mean, that looks amazing.
It looks crisp, man. It looks detailed. It looks like polished. I mean,
it's pretty sick. I think the rest is just
and then
Unreal 6.
Boom.
So I think the rest is just crowd reactions, like so I do want to talk about this frame over here though, dude. Hold on.
Yeah.
Look at this. What are they? So let's go through these frames real quick. Let me turn this down, because this is really loud in my speakers. All right.
Are you good?
I mean, these graphics look insane. If you guys are listening on a podcast or just audio, you should have video. Switch to video option, especially in Spotify, so you can watch the video and see what we're seeing here. But check this out, bro. Look at that, bro. That looks good,
sick, dude. It looks so good, and this is captured in real time too.
In game, yes. The fact that they are doing this with Rocket League just goes to show that like Unreal Engine 6 is going to be insane. What games are being developed on Unreal 6 right now?
Oh, there's no telling, dude. I mean, we saw like a still from like, you know, the Rocket League game, and then like there was that Lego game, and there was like a few other titles. And I'm curious if like those are like some of the first titles that are being like developed with Unreal Engine 6. I mean, that's my theory right now. So that's my theory, man.
I mean, look at the customization screen. That's sick. But here you're talking about this
here
right here.
Here we go. Yeah.
What games are these?
So that's definitely Lego. The other three.
Wait, yeah, but is this? Hold on, wait. Hold on. Is that?
What's up?
Why is this the Unreal web? So if you look in the top left here, you see an Unreal logo in the URL section, and it says Rocket League. So I'm like, is this Unreal's website? Is Unreal getting like a little promo in here and what games are being developed on it, or is this like a Epic Games thing? I can't tell.
Maybe. I mean, it could be both, dude. It seriously could be both, because I don't recognize any of these games. Honestly, I don't recognize anything. I honestly kind of thought the castle was like a Disney game, but I was like, there's no way.
It looks like the Disney castle. That's right.
Yeah,
that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one, like right beside it, the one where the dude's like shooting the monster and stuff. I thought that was a game that recently just came out, but I don't think it is. I think it's a new IP too. And then the one by the Legos, I was like, is that Dreams? But I'm like, that's not Epic Games. That's Sony right there.
Well, that Lego's not Epic Games either, are they?
Yeah,
so this is Unreal. It has to be.
Yeah. So these have to be like, you know, games being made with Unreal Engine. There has to be.
So here's Lego. This is. I'm trying to zoom in here. What could that be? Like maybe these are just IPs that haven't been released yet. Like some of it looks like I can't even look. Like some of these images in the background almost look AI. I mean, some of them are like blurry and weird. I don't know. I'm not going to make that claim. I'm just saying I doubt it's AI. But the castle, I'm like, dude, is the castle? Bro, okay, if you had to guess, it's not a Disney game. We know that. No. Is that? What is that, bro? What's the castle game?
That's what I'm curious too, because there's no way it's Disney. It has to be something else. You know, it has to be something that they're developing in house or something like that. But I'm not 100% sure.
I wish. Yeah, there's like no details to figure it out at all.
Yeah, I wish they would have put like titles with these, because now we're just curious.
They want us to do this though. That's what they want. They want us to guess. You know, if you have any idea what these games are from, obviously we got Rocket League and Lego over here. I don't know what Lego version that is, but like we have Rocket League, Lego. You know, I'm surprised. Is the castle that's not Fortnite? So like what? No. You know what is? So surely they want us to kind of pick it apart and try to find out what these are. So if you have any idea what they might be, like let us know, because I'm very curious. Truly.
Same.
But yeah, dude. So I'm excited about that.
Dude, I'm pumped. And the Unreal Engine 6, like, it just looks good. It just looks solid, and I want to see more games being developed on it. But I can't believe it's coming out this soon. I say, like, it's coming out like relatively soon, like within like, you know, the next year or so. And I feel like we just got started with Unreal Engine 5. It hasn't been like a decade.
I mean, we haven't even seen the most robust titles. I mean, isn't the new Witcher being developed on Unreal 5?
Yeah, it's being developed on Unreal 5. You know, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, they're actually still using Unreal Engine 4. They've never made the shift over to Unreal Engine 5. And when they asked like people that, you know, wanted, like when they asked people about like, hey, do you think we should switch to Unreal Engine 5, or do you think we should stay on Unreal Engine 4 and deliver, you know, the other parts faster? And they're like, no, stick with Unreal Engine 4, because you've already created all these assets with it and stuff. So it's just like, of course. But yeah, there's some studios that are still using Unreal Engine 4 to develop games on, which is even crazier. And like now we're getting an Unreal Engine 6 release. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool, dude. Well, look, that brings us right into our next subject, which is that former Splinter Cell director and creative director said that, this is Clint Hawking, by the way, He made what was it? Splinter Cell. I saw it said Splinter Cell. Was it Chaos Theory? Yeah. Chaos Theory, which is a lot of people love that one.
Oh yeah.
You sent this to me yesterday. Apparently, he's saying that there's a technical challenge specifically with the new graphics, etc., when making stealth games because of the lighting mechanics. Now, the ray tracing and the difference between dark and light. It's just a lot more challenging to make. There used to be a back in the day. I remember my favorite Splinter Cell game was Blacklist. I think it slept on, but back in there was very, very clearly a dark area where you drug your enemies into and hid their bodies if you were doing the lethal approach, and if you did like me and did the non-lethal approach, you hid their body. I guess you still hide their bodies, but anyways, like it was black and it was pretty much black and white. Nowadays, in a realistic setting, obviously, like. Games are set in a surreal environment where, you can't hear a guy going and getting choked out. And he's like 2 feet away from you. But here we are, and he's specifically saying that that's a challenge. I mean, this is one of the goats of stealth. He specifically said, when you think about those old school stealth games, because of their baked lighting, the lighting is very clean and readable and very understandable for the player. He added, but once you get into this diffuse and ambient occlusion and all the stuff that comes with it, it gets very hard to tell what's light, what's shadow, what's dark, what's safe, what's dangerous, and all of that stuff. Part of it is also just lighting direction. When you go and see a play on stage, the lighting is often super dramatic, so you can do it with real lights. It's just that, these places are often lit to be very realistic and not lit to be lit to be aesthetic for the purpose of a stealth gameplay. It's a tough bridge to cross, especially as people in the industry spent 20 years of their career thinking about how to make things look more realistic. Yeah, so he's trying to. I love that he's thinking that way though, because truly, like a game, you do have to. Realism is not necessarily mean good game.
Yeah.
Period.
Like I think if you need realism to tell like the game, like to give like tone or like this like appeal to the game that like it makes sense for it and stuff, then use it. But like also too with Splinter Cell, they could go with a more stylized approach to their game if they really want to like create like those harder shadows where it's like so hard to like tell where the guy is and stuff. And like that was something I was thinking about last night. I was like he does make a good point where it's like it's harder to make like a good stealth game with all these like different components within like graphics and stuff, where there's ray tracing, there's like all these like dynamic lighting setups and stuff, so it becomes more difficult to achieve like a more realistic vibe, but also implement like that hiding mechanic that a lot of stealth games implement and stuff. But like I've seen it done before with like games that are like in the sunlight. Like I've seen. I mean, shit. Even Uncharted did some stealth, man. Like
so that's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, like Uncharted, like they've done that. Like, and it was broad daylight. It's like people who think like a horror film should always be at night. But like you saw Midsummer, and it's like, no, you can definitely do the daytime. Like it's you can definitely do the daytime and stuff. But the way I said horror sounds like horror or something like that. Or
no, well, please don't. I mean, I think that's interesting. There's not much to say about that other than just taking his word. I mean, the truth is, I could foresee a lot of problems with modern graphics. That this brings me back to this conversation that we had, I think either the previous podcast or the one before, where I was speaking about the Oculus era when VR was about 2 or 3 years ago, when VR was like kind of the talk of the town. Everyone was developing VR games. And there is do you remember this conversation?
I do. It's been a minute, but I do remember like this was talked about, or this was like mentioned like from a post that I read a long time ago. But go on, David.
Well, it's the preferred way of playing. I think VR, what I mean by that is that VR has a certain allure to it. It has its own world, but the fact that a lot of people were speaking about this is the future of gaming, that implies that VR will be the most preferred version of gaming due to when the technology reaches its best. And so I always had a little bit of pushback to that because I played VR and I had a great time playing certain games in there. I think it actually has a lot of benefit. It's very fun. Just being in the Oculus Quest was such an experience. It really does feel uncanny in a lot of ways because the sound design, just the lighting, etc., how good the visuals were in my eyes, I was really blown away by the technology. But even though all those things were great, I had to go back and play the controller for most of my gaming experiences because that was the best way to play. I think gaming as a culture is not really built on how to be the most immersed, traditionally thinking, like immersion. I guess the most immersed version you can be of anything is actually being there. The most, you know what I mean? But like that's not necessarily what people want out of gaming. People want a relaxing environment. As far as I'm concerned right now, most of the culture of gaming is being relaxed, is to escape. It's like watching a movie, but with another extra layer, controlling the characters. But going into this world of like what theoretically, like what they were saying is if VR reached Ready Player One level, then that'd be the best way of gaming. And I'm not necessarily convinced that people are fully going to adopt that at any point in time.
I don't agree with that.
You know what I mean? Oh, you don't?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't agree with like them saying like, oh, Ready Player One is like going to be the only way you can play the games, but I don't agree with that because I'm agreeing with you, David, where it's like I'd rather just lay in my bed or like sit in my chair and like have a controller and watch the TV as I'm playing the game. That's how I prefer it, dude. Like that's how I prefer it. And like I remember telling you this, but I tried out the Apple Pro Vision goggles.
Yeah,
the Pro Vision goggles, and like I was like, man, this is so cool. But I would never wear this long term. After like an hour, I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, and
it's not because you're tired. It's not because it's not cool. A lot of people try to be like, oh, you're tired. You don't want to stand up. You want to be lazy. No, like I played the Oculus sometimes I did for 2.5. I mean, I did get tired after like 2.5 hours, but I played it for hours, which is like a typical gaming session for me. If I'm really into it, is usually no more than 3 hours, unless I'm addicted to anything like Expedition 33. That I'm pulling like 8-hour shifts on the game. But the VR experience it's not a tiring thing. It's more so it's just I think it's just a culture thing. I think that and maybe in the future we'll be considered like old heads. You know what I mean? Oh, like I prefer to play it this way. And look, I'm open to that. I could be wrong in that. Prove me wrong. But I really think that gaming comes with a certain level of relaxation and escape. It's not about being fully immersed. It's not about escapism in the sense that I'm in a different world. It's escapism in the sense that I'm experiencing a different world. Not I'm in it, because if I want to go be in it, then I can go LARP and I can go do these things, and those things are available. But and that's not really a one-to-one comparison. But
I see where you're going though.
Yeah. So
I see where you're going.
Anyways, to bring it all back to the core conversation. The graphics being realistic isn't the core. Like that's not the main thing about gaming. There's a reason that Mario and Nintendo games still sell so well. It's because the games are fun. They're amazingly fun, and they have cool artwork. Artwork is something we have to consider. Realism is cool and it is artwork, but it's not the only form of artwork that is beautiful. Realism is cool. Realistic artwork is cool. Seeing something that's real, that's interactive like that would be cool to see, but that doesn't make it good artwork. It just makes it a different style of artwork. That's it.
Yeah.
And so if stealth games need to dial it back or do this and that, like, 007 First Light's coming out soon. This kind of bridges us right into our next conversation.
There you go.
Yeah, right? Look at that transition right there, baby.
There you go.
It's coming out this Friday, right? It's the 28th. I think it's this Thursday or Friday. It's coming out.
I think so.
And so a lot of people are interested in how they're going to handle it. I've heard a lot of reviews on it from people who've gotten early access, and they're saying it's pretty good. It gives them a mix of Hitman, and it gives them a mix of Uncharted in a lot of ways, but it still stays core to the 007 themes, which is coolness, gadgets, etc. And so, modern stealth games are going to have to adjust. And I think we're really going to see the forefront of that whenever we see a new game from Kojima that is doing some stealth mechanics. That's because he's going to use the Decima engine, and the Decima engine is going to look amazing, and it's Kojima. So we'll see. What do you think about that, John?
Yeah. Dude, honestly, like you pretty much summed it up right. And also, Kojima is developing, like I've talked about this. He is developing a new stealth game for the PlayStation and whatnot, which is like a spiritual successor to like Metal Gear and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like I'm just pumped for that. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it just, well, it always like comes down to like, what is the core of the game? Like, is it supposed to be realistic? Is it supposed to be stylized? Is it supposed to be something else? Like, figure that out. And like, really and truly, it starts with like the story and the tone and the characters. I think it starts with that, because then you can like, pick it apart and like dissect it and like figure everything else out.
100%.
Like, look at the game and like the environments you're going to be creating and stuff, and like the level design implementations, because there's some crazy level designing in like, the Splinter Cell games. I think. It's been so long since I played Splinter Cell, and like I still think it's probably one of the best stealth games or stealth franchises ever made. The other one is Sly Cooper, just saying. But all seriousness, I think if he really wanted to, like, I mean, just to make life easier on the entire development team, if they ever made like a new Splinter Cell game, like they could go with a more stylized approach and stuff, like I said earlier on. But yeah, like I think overall, there are other games that have like worked with like a more realistic looking like setting and have achieved like, perfect stuff. And like with this new 007 game that we're about to talk about, like 100%. And like Hitman, honestly, Hitman is another good example, because that's most of the levels are like in like, the daylight and stuff. So you're just like working in the environment, and there's some goofy ass kills in that game. I'm just saying. So there's some goofy ass games, and I know Splinter Cell.
Hitman is funny. Hitman has some funny aspects to it. I've watched it. They're not my style of stealth. I love stealth games, by the way. It's probably if I have an option to do stealth in any game, whether it be any game from Sucker Punch, Uncharted, Last of Us, you usually have an option of being guns blazing or being stealthy. Even in Far Cry, which is a guns blazing game, and I always choose stealth. I always choose the sniper. I always choose the knife or the crossbow or the arrow. I always choose. I love stealth. It's just super fun. I like the idea of going into an environment and like killing everybody, slaughtering them, achieving my goal, and knowing I was there. I think it's so fun.
Yeah.
Which sounds super dark, but
yeah. No, I agree, dude. Jesus.
But yeah, dude. I'm excited. I don't like I'm not a big fan of the Hitman games. I think the way he walks and stuff is a little weird to me, and I think sometimes it's a style. And not a lot of people like those games. But and so I'm curious about what they're going to do with 007, because I am a James Bond fan. So, but just to kind of bring us into our conversation here, we also discovered that Nvidia is going to partner with 007 First Light and offers the game for free with an inclusion of any of their GPU. Not any of their GPUs. What were the GPUs that they were including, Chandler? Do you remember? Let's see. GPUs, which is crazy because people aren't buying GPUs right now. They're super expensive.
Yeah,
let's see.
Expensive, yeah. Sorry, I got a weird text message as you were talking and stuff.
Oh, you good?
Strange. Yeah, I'm good. So, I'm good.
Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find here. Okay, so the new Geoforce Now Thursday update also includes a launch offer. This comes from videocards.com, which I never heard of, but shout out to them. Update also includes a launch offer to Geoforce Now Ultimate members who buy a 12-month Ultimate membership by June 10th can redeem a 007 First Light. Can redeem 007 First Light and play it through the cloud when the game launches on May 27th. So that's actually 2 days from now. So it's Wednesday. So that's when the game comes out. And I thought I saw that it was also coming out with some of their GPUs. Let's see. First Light, Nvidia. Here we go. Okay, here's the actual website here. So, first of all, you're a player of First Light, of Geoforce Now. So I've heard it's pretty good. So I think this is a decent deal, but I know that yearly membership probably has a steep price tag to it. For limited time, 007 First Light will, with a purchase of qualifying NVIDIA GeoForce RTX 5090s, 5080s, 5070 Ti's, 5070, 5060 Ti, desktop system or graphics card or laptop with GeForce RTX 5090. What? Wow.
Yeah.
So even the laptops you can get First Light for free, and with a yearly subscription to GeForce Now, which is tempting for me because you have been for the last few months since you got it, been
advocate.
A voucher of an advocate of GeForce Now. And so I'm like, I heard it's pretty good. And I was doing a comparison between Xbox Cloud and GeForce Now, and most people are saying if you want like no latency, go to GeForce Now, but if you want titles, go to Xbox because you get Game Pass with it. So I'm curious about what you think. Is this a worthwhile investment? Be honest. Do you think this is good to get? I mean, yearly subscription. Let's see. I mean, let's GeForce Now. How much does it cost? You know.
I mean, I think so, but you also got to make sure you have good internet and like a good Ethernet cable. Like you have to make sure you have like good internet and everything else. But yeah,
it's right here.
GeForce Now, you
See
know,
that?
since yeah, holy cow. Oh, it's
$200.
It. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you spend $200, you get 12 months of GeForce Now with access to 4,500 games plus 007 First Light for free, which is a $70 game, and you get 8-hour gaming sessions up to 5K resolution. And I've heard that you're playing on like their RTX 5080s, right?
Yes.
Wow.
They for most of the games, yeah. So you're on like one of the, like before like the 5090, you're on like the second most powerful GPU engine that's out there right now from them. So it's kind of crazy. But I was actually just thinking of, because you mentioned Xbox Game Pass. Well, there is, you can tie your Xbox account to GeForce Now. So you could get like a lot of those titles on GeForce Now that you want to try out and stuff and whatnot. So you could like play.
So you
some
have to
of your
pay both
games on
subscriptions,
GeForce.
essentially.
Yeah, pretty
Gotcha.
much. So yeah. So, but I mean, I would definitely play on GeForce Now. I just think it's better for like latency and everything else.
Now, question
but,
with GeForce Now, are you? So we've talked about this before, but it's not. So Xbox, you get Game Pass, which includes free games. GeForce Now is not including free games. It's just cloud gaming across all most of the
digital stores.
The digital stores like Steam, Epic Game Store, Xbox, etc. Okay.
And you connected with GeForce Now, and they'll sync up. Now, some of the games that you might have bought probably aren't on there, just FYI, because they're trying to like get more games on the platform as they're slowly building up momentum and getting more subscribers and stuff. But
now, what about PlayStation?
Eventually, they don't have PlayStation. You know, PlayStation doesn't want to do PC, dude.
Yes.
PlayStation. They're done with it. They're like, we've actually taken a hit because we were like, people were like complaining about not being on PlayStation so much. So they've actually taken a financial hit because of that, apparently. But I'm like, wouldn't it be a financial success if you guys were on PC?
They're just dominating the market consoles, so I get it in that sense. But come on, you guys. Someone left a comment and said they told us that we were coping because we were applying some sort of deal to PS Plus in the June 2nd reveal. And I responded and said, I was like, yeah, I'm coping. But in my head, I'm thinking, actually, though, like, yes, because their comment was like, they just want more money. PlayStation does.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? You're probably making a good point. They want more money. I mean, they are Sony, and it's kind of like Nintendo. Nintendo. The thing is, like, no one really complains about Nintendo not dropping their prices in games. Like, we just kind of like just let it happen because they're so great. And PlayStation's getting to that level. But look, dude, at the end of the day, it's $200 for 12 months. If you get it's Ultimate only is what 007 First Light comes out with. If you get GeForce Now 12 month on the Ultimate and you get to play on the RTX 5080, which, as Chandler mentioned, is just one step down from their most powerful GPU offer. And GPUs right now are crazy due to data centers and AI, etc. So like this is a viable option. Now I'll speak about this real quick. This technically would be $130 if you take the $70 off of the game. So $130 for 12 months, which is kind of nice. I don't know how much it was before. I think they're probably just going to get people to subscribe, so it probably was the same amount of money. But I'll say this: it's like something. They just increased the price of PS Plus, which is just PlayStation games for streaming, and it's already like $130, which is already doing way more than PlayStation is when it comes to streaming. And I think they increased it to like $150 or something. That was the increase. I will say this though: I'm fundamentally against this like idea of streaming. In a way that, because I'm like, man, like they're so I own Nvidia stock, which was a great investment. But the way that they've cornered the market because of their GPUs being so powerful and with data centers, et cetera, I'm almost like streaming is like you own nothing but and you're happy about it. And that's like, dude, that kind of feels...
A little bit. I mean, I would actually play devil's advocate with that because with Geoforce now, the core principle is you own the game digitally and stuff. Like, you own the game digitally. It's not a physical copy because all these are digital stores. But, like, you know, they'll allow you to sync up your digital stores to Geoforce now and stuff.
You don't want to own the technology?
I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, I think, you know, things are becoming more convenientized and stuff. Like, people, like, instead of, like, adding another box to, like, their, like, shelf or something like that, or, like, you know, their clutter room and whatnot, you know, they could just buy it digitally and have it all on, like, a hard drive and stuff. Now, granted, if the hard drive dies, you know, you're fucked. But, yeah, if that's the case, you know, you always have a backup. But, like, you know, essentially, like, I think it gives you control, but it's like almost like a weird kind of like, you know, catch-22 where, yeah, you own it, but you also own it like via like the internet and stuff, via like, you know, where you download it to and stuff.
I will say, I do, you did bring up a point that I think is good that you didn't even mention, but I think you were kind of implying, which is that, I mean, look, it is $200 for 12 months. So what is that math-wise? You know, I'm terrible at math, but...
No, you're good.
What is that?
I'll do the math. So let's divide it.
200
divided by 12. So that's like 16.67 or 16.67 cents.
Okay, so about $17 a month for this really crazy computer, and if you have good internet, which most people are going to get fiber, if not, you already have really fast internet speeds. Because of modern technology, and so you have that. It will provide something that I do take a lot of pride, or not pride, but I do respect, which is that I'm not going out and buying a $2,000, $2,500 to $3,000, maybe even now. I think I mean, let's look it up. What does it cost to get a 5080 right now?
Dude, 5080s? Oh shit, dude, not even just 5080s, 5090s, bro. Like, they used to be like $2,000. Now they're like more.
Let me look Nvidia, because that was not okay. Yeah, here we go. A 5080 right now is $1,700.
Yep.
When I built my computer in 2017, I had the 1080 for the Founders Edition, and that was like $800, $700, $800. So it's double that, and then what's a 5090? I mean, so I'm just going off the one they offer, right? Here, so 5090 is.
It's a lot.
What?
Yeah, it's like $5,000. So, like, the prices are everywhere, dude. But, like, generally, a 5090 is like closer to, like, you know, $4,500. It was $2,000. So yeah, it's insane. It is crazy.
I had an aneurysm doing that. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So, like, if you really wanted, you know, go for it. But, like, I wouldn't do that. Like, if I knew I could play games on a server out in, like, Atlanta or Chicago
for $16,
LA for $16, I'll do that. And, like, you save money by that. Like, granted, people are like, oh, if you buy the 5090, it's, like, future-proof. It's like, it is to a certain point.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I had the 1080. I had the 1080 Ti or whatever. I had one of them. It was either Founders Edition or something. But I had the 1080 in 2017. That's not applicable anymore.
No, it's definitely outdated.
That's 9 years ago. I can't play a game now like on that. So what are you talking about? It's not future-proof. Technology improves all the time. What are we talking about?
Yeah. It's like 5-year increments that it improves like rapidly and stuff. It's not like...
It's not, though.
Yeah, like people are still stuck in the mindset that it's like, oh, it takes like 10 to 15 years before it's like, really accelerating. It's like no. Right.
No,
it is not that. It is not that long term. And I was actually having this conversation with my buddy Gordon because, you know, he's not like he's not like a tech nerd or anything like that, but he even understands like technology is much more faster than it was back in like the 80s or 70s. Like it's way more advanced.
Check this out. Check this out. To get an Nvidia, to get a 16 gigabyte 5080 by Nvidia, it would cost you $1,800 or $1,700. If you divide that by 200, which is a yearly subscription to Geoforce now, which is what they offer the 5080, it would take you. It would take you 8.5 years to pay off that, to equate that amount of money. So if you pay $200 for 8.5 years, then you would own the graphics card. So just by the math alone, that doesn't make any sense. Like 8 years from now, we're going to be, looking at the Nvidia 10,800 or something crazy. You know what I mean? So that just doesn't even make any sense. 8 years from now, I don't know what we're gonna have, to be honest. 8 years from now, like with AI, I'm like, I don't know. But
I don't know.
Still, it might even be double that or triple that. I don't know. So we might reach quantum. If we get quantum computing, it's like definitely not future proof.
No. Quantum computing is like that's a whole new atmosphere, dude. That's a whole new sphere of like technology and stuff. Because I've watched some YouTube videos on quantum computing, and it is insane. It is kind of scary how like incredible if we do achieve that level of like technology. I'm like, oh my god. So
truly,
we'll see. We'll see, man.
Guys, I'm tempted to get that, dude. I might get it. 12 months kind of sounds like. Look, my PS Plus renews next month. There's like no offerings on there that I like. I might take it down to basic just to keep online. Even then, though, I'm not even playing online. I just got Still Wakes to like they're not rolling out first party titles. I'm holding off into June 2nd to see what they say, because they're holding it at the Alamos Theater, or Brew House. So like they're doing that. Is it Alamos? Is that what it was?
Alamo.
Yeah, Alamo. So Alamo Draft House. They're holding that. So there's going to be a big reveal. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they do something with PS Plus that includes first party titles or something. If they do that, I'll hold out on it. If they don't do that, I'm canceling, and I'm getting this.
I like how you liked my idea about how they should release or how they should add like first party titles from like all the way to like 3 years back. Like every single I'm just saying, like that would get so many subscribers if they just did that, because they've already made.
There's no reason not to, dude. Yes, like Last of Us. Look, you're not Nintendo yet, so and Nintendo doesn't even offer that yet. So it's like, you can't compete. You can't even really. So Last of Us, all the Last of Us games on there should be on there. All the God of War games should be on there. All the Uncharted games should be on there. Like, we should get the new Spider-Man and Wolverine game on there. We should get Ghost of Yotei and Ghost of Tsushima. What are some other first-party games? Astrobot, I've been wanting to play. The thing is like I'm about to cancel, and I'm not the only person subscribing, right? They don't really care probably about what I gotta say, but I'm about to cancel because when I go on there, I'm getting goofy titles. The monthly games does nothing for me. They're goofy. I don't know what they are. I never even heard of them. And
you're getting some shovelware, dude. You're getting some shovelware tiles too that are like AI looking and shit.
No, like this is not worth it, guys. Like, and if I've already subscribed to the PlayStation ecosystem. So you think I'm not buying your games, right? Like you think I'm not getting the new God of War? I'm already in the ecosystem. So you want me to spend this subscription account to have online and to have these games and also buy the new titles? Why would I ever do that? I could just go to Xbox and get the new Xbox rollout, Fable, whatever they're going to put out on there for free I played Indiana Jones for free on there or included with my membership. I know I'm ranting on this a lot, but PlayStation, get with the times, dude. Like, I love you guys. You guys make great games. You're a great studio, great console. But jeez, dude, like the times are tough, man. You guys are rich. Give us some freaking breaks here. Include the titles.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree 100% with you, dude. Like, only time will tell if like Sony will listen to like their fan base on like just releasing more first party titles. I still remember when Stray was released on PlayStation Plus, and I was actually kind of surprised by that.
I love
Stray.
Yeah, I played that in one day. Beat it.
Dude, same. I got the achievement where you had your cat sleep for an hour, and stuff.
Really?
Like, yeah, there's that achievement in the game where, like, you know, if you just sleep for an hour, you get a trophy for it. I was like, oh, well, shit, I'll just do that.
My cat of was like a stray cat. I've been tempted on Halloween to get him.
Dude.
You can buy a costume for cats that has the like the backpack thing that he wears.
Oh, really?
Yes,
That's
and I
cute.
thought about getting him for Halloween, just like because he's an orange cat. He's not as
Yeah,
short.
yeah.
His hair's a little longer, but still, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, dude, I love that game. But yeah, I remember that came out, and like there was a few other like games that came out for the PlayStation that were on there and stuff. But that one kind of caught me off guard. But if they did more of like what Stray did, I mean, I feel like people would be like in tune with like subscribing to PlayStation Plus and stuff, because not having just like a classic catalog is gonna get butts in their seats and wanting to subscribe, because they do offer, like, for the more expensive tier, like they do offer like the classic catalog of like PS1, PSP, PS2, PS3 titles of games and stuff. But I'm like, it's cool, but like some of those games aren't really what people want to play and stuff.
That's a very
like,
niche group of people that want to go back and play those games. I'm not one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play. I'll delve into like one or two of those titles because of like nostalgia, or I never got to play, but it was a game that I've always wanted to play. But essentially, like what it comes down to is like some of those games are like movie tie-in games. Like they have the Toy Story games on there, and I'm like,
I mean, those are awesome, but I'm not playing those again. Yeah, come on now. And like I love Uncharted. I absolutely love Uncharted. Bro, you don't understand. Like I used to keep all the Game Informer magazines that had Uncharted covers in my. I loved Uncharted. I love Naughty Dog, obviously, and then Last of Us came out and that overtook it because Last of Us was, amazing. But anyways, I can rant about this all day. I just hope that June 2nd they do something cool. I don't have high hopes for it, but nonetheless, I love PlayStation. So fingers crossed. They've made me happy for the most part. But I'm gonna be honest, with all these options that are coming out, I might just like let PlayStation be my system to go to when I want to just like buy a game. That like you go like when I want to buy their first party titles, go get it. But other than that, like, why am I like 007 should come out and play? Like, they're not making me want to get it. Like, I want to play 007. I don't want to pay full price if they have this offer. So, anyways, all that and more here on Split Screen Gamers, guys. We appreciate you watching. Next week, about 30 minutes before the PS State of Play, we're gonna hop on live, so you can join us here on our channel live. Me and Chandler are going to hop on 15 to 30 minutes earlier, depending on how we're feeling. Kind of talk about what we talked about in the previous episode, where we gave our predictions, and then we're going to watch the live with you guys. It's supposed to be 60 minutes plus, so you can join us. If you don't, go kick rocks. We don't appreciate. No, I'm joking. We love you anyways. I'm excited. I get back from a flight that morning, and so I'm going to take a nap so I can be ready to go. So I'm excited for that, especially with my bro Chandler. Appreciate you guys watching, and until next time.